Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of our news programme. The time is 30 seconds past 6 o'clock and I'm joining you live from the heart of White Regis. And in the news this week, Dorset Council is looking to change the way that they charge for parking at their car parks across the county from next year. As part of the Parking Transformation Project, which seeks to standardise all car parking prices across the council area, the council wants to know what residents think about it and about the new residence permit that they're also going to introduce for Dorset's residents, to include workers, people who are resident in the county and businesses, so that they're not left out of pocket by the proposed new pricing. What they propose is a new three-tier pricing structure for all car parks and a differentiating between the diverse and unique areas that Dorset enjoys, such as the rural areas, the coastal areas and the town areas. And also, of course, the seasonal nature of car parking at popular visitor destinations. It aims to bring consistency to charging across the whole of the Dorset Council car parks, where charges currently span from free in some areas to £9 all day. They're bringing this three-level system in. Level 1 pricing is for the smaller rural car parks, and it's proposed that charges will start at 50p for 30 minutes and rise in increments to £4 for all-day parking. Then there'll be level 2 pricing. This is for the market towns and shopping destination car parks. It's proposed there that charges again start at 50p for 30 minutes and will have slightly higher incremental rises up to a total of £6 for all day. And then there'll be level 3 pricing. This is for our visitor destination car parks, so this will affect lots of those in the Weymouth and Portland area. It's proposed to have the same pricing level as level 2 car parks in the low season, so throughout the winter, but in the high season, which is from the 1st of April to the 31st of October, prices are proposed to start at £1 for 30 minutes and rise incrementally up to £10 for all day. As part of this work, a single car park permit is proposed for drivers living and working in Dorset. This would replace the 76 different permits currently available across the county, covering the old district and borough local authority areas. The proposed annual residents, workers and business car park permit would allow drivers to park in specified Dorset Council car parks throughout the year. A resident survey has been launched to inform the cost and the offer of the permit, with a proposed price to be confirmed once feedback has been analysed and costs calculated. Monthly payments are also being considered to help spread the cost of this permit. So if you buy the annual permit, you'll be able to park free in certain car parks. Otherwise, you'll have to pay the same prices as everybody else. Dorset's town and parish councillors and community representatives participating in stakeholder groups are being asked to comment on the proposed tiered car parking pricing structure, while the permit survey is open to everyone to ensure plans take into account the views of Dorset's motorists, as well as specific local knowledge on parking. The scale of increases in parking prices will vary for each individual driver depending on the car park being used and obviously the duration that they want to stay. Our proposals are also affecting on-street parking, where charges will be made more consistent following the same three-tier approach. But there is also a proposal that the spaces on on-street parking will be charged at a much higher rate than the car park areas, to ensure that people don't fill up those spaces for too long and therefore they park for shorter periods of time. Waivers will still be able to be purchased for tradespeople who need to park for work. Blue badges will be reviewed separately to these proposals, as will healthcare permits. If you want to provide any feedback on the proposed parking permit, you should complete the survey, which is at www.dorsetcouncil.gov.uk/parking-permit-survey. Or, of course, if you've got any feedback, speak to your local town or parish council representatives and get them to feed back into the proposals. From this week, Dorset Highways will also be starting to carry out premium resurfacing on large sections of our A and B roads across the county. The idea is to protect them from water damage and keeping them in good condition for longer. Many of these roads have already been patched up over the last 12 months, and repairing any structural defects will need to be done in preparation for the works. And this is all about extending the life and the quality of Dorset's roads. Work will, in all of these works, be carried out between 9:30 and 3:30 p.m. under convoy working, where a vehicle travelling at 10 miles per hour will lead drivers through the works area. There will be no on-street parking available during the work. Drivers are being advised to allow extra time for their journeys or find an alternative route, as the convoy working will slow down traffic considerably. Jack Wiltshire, who's Dorset Council Head of Highways, said after the work is finished, an advisory 20-mile-an-hour speed limit will be in place, while the stone chippings are further bedded in by vehicles travelling over the surface. Our sweeper crew will then remove any surplus chippings 48 hours later. Please drive slowly over the new surfaces and leave increased space between vehicles. The low speed limit is in place for the safety of road users. This year's sites will form a rolling programme that is weather dependent, with yellow advance notice boards put in place on the site 2 days in advance to confirm dates for the work to start, to ensure that no roadside parking is undertaken in the area for the work. There's a long list of roads, and if you're travelling further afield than the local Weymouth and Portland area, I suggest you go to the Dorset Council website and have a look. But the ones that are probably going to affect Weymouth and Portland residents most of all are the Dorchester Road in Wool, between Wool and Burton Cross roundabout to the junction with Bailey's Drove. That starts on the 19th of July. And the main road at Osmington, west of White Horse Chalet to the junction with Mills Road, and that's the 19th and 20th of July. So that's going in the Wareham direction. That will affect you. If you're going to Sherborne or Bridport or any of the other destinations across the county, do pop along to the Dorset Council website and have a look, because there is a long list of these A and B roads that are having work done on them. Dorset Police are appealing for help from the public to locate a teenage girl. I think I've got a picture of this teenage girl. Let's see if we can find her. Here she is. To locate a teenage girl who is missing in Weymouth. Tanya Anderson, aged 16, travelled to Weymouth on Wednesday the 9th of June. She was last seen around 6 p.m. on Wednesday the 23rd of June. That's this Wednesday just gone, in the area of Westham Bridge. Tanya is described as white, 5 feet 5 inches tall, and a slim build with long black and silver hair. Police Inspector Matt Chutter of Dorset Police said, "We have been carrying out various inquiries and searches in a bid to locate Tiania, but these have so far proved unsuccessful. Due to her young age, we are concerned for her welfare and want to locate her to ensure she is okay." They are appealing to anyone who has seen her or a girl matching her description to get in touch with Dorset Police. Finally, if you see this appeal, Tanya, please get in touch with us. That's Dorset Police, as they want to make sure that you are safe and well. And of course, you can contact Dorset Police on 101. Parking for NHS staff. And I thought I had an NHS logo. There it is, NHS logo. Parking or free parking for NHS and care workers in Dorset Council operated car parks will remain in place through to the end of Sunday the 18th of July. NHS and care workers can continue to use any Dorset Council operated car park free of charge until the early hours of Monday the 19th of July, provided they are on duty and displaying a relevant permit, or they have registered with Dorset Council. The free parking was originally run for a limited time early last year, and it was reinstated during each lockdown period, as well as continuing through December 2020. The extension of the free parking for NHS and care workers will be reviewed by councillors on a monthly basis. So if anything changes with the opening up, then they will obviously review it again. If you want to register for free off-street parking, you can email parking@dorsetcouncil.org.uk. dorset.gov.uk, providing your full name, evidence of your employer details and your vehicle registration number. So that's parking at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. You'll need to give details of your full name and evidence that you are an NHS or care worker. You'll get a response email and your details will be added to their system, and you won't get a parking charge notice put on your vehicle. Similar to NHS, this is about care workers and people who are providing care and support to others in the Dorset Council area. There is a scheme to give free PPE, that's personal protective equipment. Personal assistants and unpaid carers living in the Dorset Council area can request free personal protective equipment as they continue to carry out their caring duties through the COVID-19 pandemic. The scheme was first introduced in February and expected to last until the 30th of June, but the provision has now been extended right the way through until March 2022. So that's free PPE scheme now extended right the way through to March 2022. The equipment available includes visors, aprons, face masks, gloves and sanitizer. Who can apply for it? Well, if you are an extra resident, unpaid carer, meaning that you do not live with the person you care for, a co-resident, so if you do live with the person you care for, an unpaid carer, where you're caring for somebody who's clinically vulnerable, you're directly employed by an individual to provide care and support, and you provide care that requires you to come within 2 meters of an adult over the age of 18 who you support. And this care could include support in the home or in the community. So if any of that applies to you and you want to get some free PPE, you can call the Dorset Together helpline on 01305 221 000. That's 01305 221 000. Councillor Simon Gibson, who's the lead member for care at Dorset Council, said it's really good news that the provision of free PPE for personal assistants and unpaid carers has been extended through to March 2022. Carers and personal assistants do a fantastic job supporting some of the most vulnerable people in Dorset through what continues to be a really challenging time. I am pleased this provision will remain in place so they can continue to protect themselves, those they care for, and others they come into contact with as they go about their caring duties. Carer Support Dorset is the first point of contact for advice and support to unpaid carers of all ages across Dorset Council area. Their aim is to create a carer-friendly communities where carers are recognised, valued and supported. So if you're a carer and you want any support, Carer Support Dorset can be contacted on 0800 368 8349. So that's 0800 368 8349, or you can go on to a specific website, www.carersupportdorset.co.uk. That's www.carersupportdorset.co.uk. Back to Dorset Police again. They're appealing for help from the public to identify the owner of a dog that bit a 4-year-old girl in Weymouth. At around 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 15th of June, the victim was walking with her mum on Victoria Street in Weymouth when they saw a man and a teenage girl with a Dalmatian dog coming the other way. The man stood near a wall while the victim and her mum walked past, but the dog lunged forward and bit the girl on the arm, causing a red mark and a bruise. The male dog owner apologised and asked if the girl was all right. The mother was treating her daughter and the dog owner left the scene, and therefore she was unable to get his details. The man is described as white, aged in his 40s, just under 6 feet tall, and of medium build with short dark hair that is going grey and a beard. He was wearing a green top and brown shorts. The teenage girl that was with the man is described as around 15 or 16 years of age, with straight blonde or light brown hair that was just beneath shoulder length and was wearing glasses. Police Constable Jenny Sykes-Martin of Dorset Police said, "This must have been upsetting for the young girl, and I'm carrying out a number of inquiries to locate the dog owner. I'm appealing for anyone who witnessed what happened or may have any information to help me identify the owner of the Dalmatian to please get in touch." And again, you can contact Dorset Police on 101 or anonymously on Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. The NHS in Dorset is reminding anyone aged 18 or over that they are now eligible for their COVID-19 vaccination and is asking them to book their appointment to help return to normal life as soon as possible. Vaccination sites are open throughout the county, with a number of pharmacies recently coming online to offer protection against the virus. A full list of sites can be found at www.dorsetccg.nhs.uk/vaccinations. That's www.dorsetccg.nhs.uk/vaccinations. Local GP Andy Rutland, I haven't got a picture of Andy. Here's Andy. There he is. Said people are desperate to return to normal life. For example, going to concerts, events or clubs at the earliest opportunity. And we are reminding anyone aged 18 or over not to wait until they're invited, but to get on and book their jab as soon as they can. Cases across Dorset are definitely on the rise, and we know that vaccination offers protection against serious illness and hospitalisation, as well as reducing the risk to those close to you. We are delighted that there is such a demand for vaccinations both nationally and locally, and the fact that we have now delivered over 900,000 doses in Dorset shows that the vast majority of people are keen to get protected. We know, however, that there are still more people that for whatever reason haven't made up their mind and haven't booked an appointment yet. He would encourage anyone who is hesitating to find out the facts before they make a decision. We are so close to going back to normal, let's not spoil it now. There is still a chance that you could catch or spread COVID-19 even after you've got the vaccine. So we are asking, or he is asking, all residents to take part also in rapid testing on a regular basis. 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 show no symptoms, so by testing you can check you're not unknowingly passing on the virus to others. It's free and quick and easy to do the tests. Tests can be ordered online or they can be picked up from your local pharmacies. There are also 20 places, as we said, across Dorset now to get your COVID vaccination. So if you want more information, and to book your jab, you can do it online at www.nhs.uk/condition/coronavirus COVID-19, or I'm sure if you go into Google and you type NHS book COVID vaccination, you'll get straight through to the right site. So if you're aged between 18 and 25 and you haven't been called yet, now's the time to make contact and to book your vaccination. There has been a warning from Royal Mail. Have we got a Royal Mail picture? There we go, Royal Mail, postbox from Royal Mail. There's been a warning issued by Royal Mail across the UK over a new Royal Mail post office scam targeting unsuspected customers. The warning has been issued by the Chartered Trading Standards Institute, who are calling for potential victims to exercise caution. They're warning people about a new scam involving text messages, urging people to reschedule parcel deliveries which have failed. Recipients of the texts are told their package has been returned to the post office depot. The texts are fake and they are created to try and dupe victims into their hard-earned cash by collecting personal details. One victim recently reported that they had lost £80,000. That's a lot of money to lose through responding to a fake text after being duped by the scam and handing over details to a bogus website. The Chartered Institute's lead investigating officer, Catherine Hart, in a statement said, this post office scam is far more insidious than a similar scam which involved Royal Mail. While the Royal Mail scam explicitly asks for a payment to reorganise delivery, at no point does this happen in the post office version of the scam. It just asks for personal details, which then they can get access to things that would get them to your money. Scammers could use the information to gain access to bank accounts and other important personal accounts. With the pandemic leading to a significant rise in online shopping and deliveries, it is vital that the message gets out about the potential dangers of these scams and we share it far and wide as possible, especially during the Scams Awareness Fortnight, which we're on at the moment. So if you get any text from Royal Mail or Post Office send about undelivered parcels. Please do not click on links and enter any details at all. You don't need to enter any personal details or bank details or anything like that to get parcels delivered to you. And most parcel deliverers will leave a card in your door. Don't forget that. As we come to the end of one school year, and we think of the school holidays and the start of another school year looming, it can be an expensive time for parents. With books, pens, bags and shoes to buy, the cost of school uniforms can set families back a considerable amount. But parents and guardians of school children might be able to access publicly funded grant to help them towards the cost of clothing children through their education years. Schools have been called upon to add value for money criteria to their uniform policies under a new schools uniform bill, which has prompted a change in the law. As a result of the bill, school uniforms will be made more affordable for families. But what other help is out there for parents and guardians of children in state education who can't afford to buy uniforms? Parents and guardians of school children can access a support grant of up to £150 to help pay towards uniform costs if they are struggling financially. The grant is typically accessible to low-income households who might also get free school meals, although the criteria varies from council to council area and depending on where you live. To give you an idea of others that might be eligible, free school meals, parents or guardians typically need to be claiming benefits such as universal credit, child tax credit and that sort of thing. Dorset Council does operate the scheme. It's not operated in all local authority areas, but Dorset Council does, and it does issue grants. If you need help with school uniforms, it's suggested that in the first instance you make contact with your child's school before they break up at the end of July for the summer, and they will be able to help you accessing these grants. The successful grants are awarded during the summer holidays, so that you've got enough time to buy your uniforms for the children before they actually get it's time for them to get back to school. Well, there we go. That's the headlines tonight, and it's just past 22 minutes past 6, doing a time check for you. Before we go into our main stories tonight, I haven't played my birthday jingle for a while, but I do know today it is the birthday of both Thomas and Jack. So I promised that what I would do is I would play my my snazzy birthday jingle for Thomas and Jack. So happy birthday to Thomas and Jack. There we go, that was for Thomas and Jack, whose birthday is today. Okay, on to our longer articles tonight. Our first report this evening is that the world's largest square-rigged sailing ship has sailed into Weymouth Bay this week. I don't know if any of you have seen it. The Golden Horizon is a new vessel in service for cruise operator Tradewind Voyages. It's a 5-masted vessel, called the Golden Horizon. It offers cruises in Europe, the Mediterranean, Arabia, Indonesia and Australasia. It is a near replica of the 1913 built France 2. Golden Horizon offers capacity for no more than 272 guests in 140 cabins and has a crew up to 139. It combines the onboard luxuries of a small cruise ship with the charm, romance and adventure of the historic 19th and 20th century clippers. In terms of propulsion, it uses its sails for around 70% of the time it's underway. It weighs 8,770 tons, so 5 masts, and it makes it the largest sailing ship ever launched. It was originally named the Flying Clipper. The luxury vessel was designed by a Polish naval architect and built in Split, Croatia. Now, Jeff Moore from Dorset Media and the Travel Trunk went out on a boat this week to meet the Golden Horizon just as she approached Portland Bill on her way back to Weymouth. And this is from Jeff.
So I've come out this morning to intercept the Golden Horizon, the world's largest sailing ship. and it's due to arrive in Weymouth Bay probably about 8 o'clock this morning, and we're at the moment just heading off, go towards the end of Portland and Portland Bill, and hopefully meet up. Well, we've actually made contact now. We're not too far away, so we'll just be following as she makes her way in to anchor. It's certainly been interesting following Golden Horizon into Weymouth Bay. I did suffer a little bit of an injury retrieving the drone, but nevertheless we did get some amazing pictures.
Thank you there to Jeff Moore from Dorset Media and the Travel Trunk for his footage of the Golden Horizon as it came into Weymouth, and quite a few people have spotted it. There's some lovely photos put up on Facebook yesterday of it lit up at night. The time now is just coming up to 28 minutes past 6. Also to say, of course, it's my mother-in-law's birthday this week as well, so a very happy birthday to Pauline Wheatley this week on the 30th, so 4 days time. Hope you have a happy birthday too. Our second story tonight is about the Weymouth 450 celebrations. You remember we have mentioned this other weeks, where we have said that this year we are celebrating 450 years of the union of Weymouth and Melcombe Regis into one town. Next weekend, the Knowth Fort is actually having the first of the major events to mark the 450 celebrations, which is the Mailway Games. And we'll mention that again later in our What's On section. But we're now going to hear from Janet Hall about some of the plans of activities that are going to be running in Wyke Regis for the Weymouth 450. Of course, Wyke Regis played a much more wider role in the town back 450 years ago. In fact, the Church of All Saints, which is the prominent building in Wyke Regis, which was dedicated in 1455, was the mother church of Weymouth, and that's where the people of Weymouth used to come to church. So back in those days, Wyke Regis would have been the heart of the community on the Weymouth side of the thing. So the 450 years is very important to Wyke Regis. So we're going to hear from Janet now some of the plans of what's going on in Wyke as part of the 450 celebrations.
Did you know that Weymouth started life as two separate independent towns, one on each side of the River Wey. This year marks 450 years from when Weymouth and Melcombe Regis were combined by way of a charter. While it's thought that Weymouth was established as early as the 10th century, and its first charter was granted in 1252, it was confined to the south and west of Weymouth Harbour, and it's thought Weymouth was the earlier of the two settlements, formed from a small huddle of fishermen's huts and dwellings. The two settlements shared the river that lay between them, which provided the towns with a steady income from shipping and fishing. From as early as the 13th century, there were disagreements over the ownership of the harbour and profits from the stretch of water between the towns. The disagreements and assertions over the rights continued over the centuries and reached a pivotal point under the reign of Elizabeth I. Constant petitions to the Queen and her Privy Council resulted in her officials attempting to intervene to broker a peaceful agreement, and their attempts fail. The Queen and her ministers then used Parliament to bring about a solution to the ongoing problem. In April 1571, an Act of Parliament was passed forcing the towns into a union, creating the new borough of Weymouth and Melcombe Regis. The construction of the first bridge over the harbour in the early 1590s was the first physical recognition of the union and strengthened the identity of the two settlements as one town. This year we are celebrating 450 years since that charter. As part of the celebrations, the parish of Wyke Regis is putting on a festival of art and flowers in our historic church. The present church building, which was completed in 1455, was until the early part of the 19th century the parish church of Weymouth. So having been around throughout, it is entirely appropriate that we celebrate 450 years of Weymouth right here. And what better way than with a festival of flowers and arts? It will be over the weekend of the 24th of September 2021, and by then we will certainly feel in need of a bit of celebrating. Artists are asked to submit work for an exhibition along the theme of Celebrating Weymouth 450. And there'll also be a photographic competition for local people on the same theme. Please give me a ring or email if you want more information on how to enter, and keep your eyes open for updates on our Facebook page and our website. There will also be flower arranging workshops throughout the weekend, and the last night of the proms on the Saturday night. So get those dates in your diary right now, September the 24th to the 26th. If you want to know more, get in touch with me on one of the above contacts.
Thank you, Janet. And of course, we will be letting you know more about all of those activities as we get closer. And we will also post them up on the Wyke Regis TV Facebook page as well. So there'll be an art exhibition, photographic competition, last night of the proms, and chance to pop in and learn a bit about the history of one of the older buildings in Weymouth that was certainly around 450 years ago when Weymouth and Melcombe Regis came together. Our final story, and just to give you a time check, we're just coming up to 1834 or 634, is about Armed Forces Weekend. Now, last weekend was Armed Forces Weekend, and for a period of time it was thought that it may not go ahead, but it did go ahead. It was a pared down event, slightly not as large and so many people as normal. But it was possible for the scaled down event to run. There weren't the big parades, obviously, like usual, but there were things happening at the nose. There was an act of remembrance. There was people dressed up in military uniform, and there were military vehicles in the town. And again, we're going back to Jeff Moore again this evening from Dorset Media and the Travel Trunk to have a look at what actually happened in Armed Forces Weekend in Weymouth last weekend as Jeff was out and about in the town.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for that report. And there are a few familiar faces in that video. I wonder if you recognised any well-known Weymouth people in that video. And just to show that we are live, and the time is now 18:38. I've got a message live while we've been on air to say that actually it's Thomas and Jack's birthday on Wednesday the 30th, not today. I didn't read the message I sent properly, so apologies to Thomas and Jack. So Wednesday this week, 30th, it's Thomas and Jack's birthday. It's also Pauline Wheatley's birthday as well. So happy birthday to you all for Wednesday. Hopefully I've recovered that situation, and we'll get another message in a minute to say, yes, we heard it, thank you. Okay, it's now time for the national weather forecast, and we're over to Aidan McGibbon at the Met Office for the weather.
Hello and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. The weekend is here, and for most of us it's looking drier and brighter compared to Friday's weather. Still some showers about, especially in the south and especially later in the weekend. There'll be a feed of showers or outbreaks of rain into southern counties of England by Saturday evening and overnight. Otherwise, most places end up dry with a lot of cloud cover returning from the east, but that will help to keep the temperatures up in the mid-single figures in places. And this is the setup for Saturday night and into Sunday. Low pressure moving slowly away from the south, but still close enough. high pressure building into the north. And so for many, Sunday's a dry day, and after that grey start, the cloud will tend to break up, especially towards the west and the north. Decent sunny spells developing. The odd shower couldn't be ruled out for northern England, over the Pennines, for example, over the southern uplands of Scotland, but for most in the north it's dry. For much of Wales as well, but you can see the rain returning across southern counties of England and later South Wales. Initially, showers in the south on Sunday, but by the afternoon and evening, some prolonged rain and the potential for some heavy rain, especially across Devon and Cornwall. That will limit the temperatures here. Elsewhere, where we'll get some sunshine, a warmer day to come, high teens or low 20s. Of course, we'll keep you updated through the weekend, and you can follow those updates on social media. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Thank you, Aidan, for the national weather forecast and in the local weather forecast this week. There we go. It's up on the screen. It's going to start wet tomorrow. Tomorrow could be quite wet. Looking at the chart, and the rain could go on into Monday. It's going to be changeable most of the week, but the best and driest days are likely to be Tuesday and Thursday, and daytime temperatures are going to reach up to 18 degrees centigrade. That's what the weather forecast says. Like me, I suspect you realise that the weather forecasts aren't always that accurate. You know, we get a weather forecast that says it's going to rain all week and it doesn't rain. But that's what the forecast says at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Looking at the traffic and travel. This week, Wessex Water are still working in Williams Avenue in White Regis, and there's still ongoing work at Bar Lane Chickerell. Southern Gas Networks are working in Wyke Road and Baycliffe Road. And traffic could continue to be heavy with holiday traffic as well as we get closer into the summer season and more people obviously taking their staycations. And remember, if you're travelling further afar, do go on the Dorset Council website and look at those major road resurfacings, because it is going to affect travel throughout Dorset in the weeks through July. On the trains, there is an amended service times late night excuse me, and early morning between Basingstoke, Eastleigh and Southampton Central this week. What else is on this week? What's on? Well, Weymouth Pavilion is operating social distance shows this week, and they've got an ABBA and a Queen tribute band over the coming week. So if you like the music of ABBA and Queen, it'd be worth giving them a call, see if they've got any tickets left. Details are on their website, and the box office for tickets is 01305 783 225. We mentioned the Knowth Fort, and I mentioned earlier on the Melway Games. They are next week. I think it's Saturday, the 3rd of July. And basically, it's the Melcombe Regis and Weymouth Games. So it's teams from Melcombe Regis against teams from Weymouth. And there's a unique opportunity for you to join in, and you don't necessarily need to be at the Knowth. You can have competitions elsewhere between people from Melcombe Regis and Weymouth, and you can send the results in to the Knowth for the overall competition result, and it will affect the overall competition result. So again, do look at the Knowth Fort website, lots of information there, and do join in with the Melway Games next weekend. On the 4th of July, there is a food and drink pop-up producers market at the Knowth Fort. On the 10th and the 11th of July, Weymouth Drama Club is presenting Arabian Nights. And on the 16th of July, Opera Anywhere are presenting HMS Pinafore. So lots of things going on at the Knowth as well. As we said, there are stuff coming up for the Weymouth and Melcombe Regis 450, so do watch out. We will be putting that out over Facebook, on various websites and the White Regis TV site as well, to let you know what's going on. But if you're organising anything throughout Weymouth and Portland and the surrounding area to do with Weymouth 450 or anything else this summer, do drop us a line so we can share it with other people. News at White Regis TV. Right, we get to our films section for this week. And this week the film is Suicide Squad. It is from writer-director James Gunn, and it's an action-packed superhero movie featuring a collection of the most degenerate delinquents in the DC lineup. Welcome to Belle Reve, the prison with the highest mortality rate in the US of A, where the worst supervillains are kept and where they'll do anything to get out, even join the super secret, super shady Task Force X. Today's Do or Die assignment: assemble a collection of cons including Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Captain Boomerang, Ratcatcher 2, Savant, King Shark, Blackguard, Javelin, and everyone's favourite psycho, Harley Quinn. Then arm them heavily and drop them literally on the remote, enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese. Trekking through a jungle teeming with militant adversaries and guerrilla forces at every turn, the squad is on a search and destroy mission with only Colonel Rick Flag on the ground to make them behave, and Amanda Waller's government techies in their ears, tracking their every movement. And as always, one wrong move and they're dead, whether at the hands of their opponents, a teammate, or Waller herself. If anyone's laying down bets, the smart money is against them, all of them. The film stars Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, Jai Courtney, Steve Gunn, Peter Capaldi, just to name a few. It's an absolute star-studded cast, and even Sylvester Stallone as the voice of the shark. It's distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, and it's in cinemas across the UK from the 30th of July. So if you like superheroes and superhero movies, maybe this one is for you. Here we go. Let's see what it's going to look like.
Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
I'm not joining your suicide squad.
We'll see.
My court date is coming up, and Miss Waller said maybe you could help me out.
You're flexing in my door!
Everyone stand down.
Miss Waller, I don't...
Stand down!
I wouldn't take such extreme measures if this mission went more important than you could possibly imagine. Are you in or out? Good. Let's meet your team.
It's okay, I'm not okay.
Each member is chosen for his or her own completely unique set of abilities.
I need to feel the raindrops on my head, on my head.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
Good to know.
Is this thing a dog?
A dog? What kind of dog do you think it is, mate?
I'm gonna go with Afghan Hound.
Oh my god, is it a werewolf?
Yo, they sent me into a werewolf! Yo, let me out!
Hey, he's not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know.
Your mission is to destroy every trace of something known only as Project Starfish. Any questions?
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
No. All right. Let's get it. This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
I'm a superhero!
Where's my dad?
I want to get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.
There we go. So the shark there was Sylvester, the voice of Sylvester Stallone. Obviously, he's struggling to get work these days, and he has to do the voiceover for a shark to get work. But lots of well-known names in that film, and if you're into superheroes, maybe that's one for you. So it just remains for me to say, basically, reminder, we'll be back next week at 6 o'clock, of course. Going on in White tomorrow, there are services at 8 o'clock and 9:30 at All Saints Church, and the 9:31 is live stream at St Edmund's Church at 11 o'clock. Don't forget our quiz this evening in a short while at 7:30 on all the usual channels. And on Friday night, we have our new year in gardening with Clive Gray, which is very popular, and lots of people are giving us very good feedback about that. Most importantly, as we go through the week, do support the other community stations that are here to serve you. These are our 3 community radio stations across the area. Chesil Radio, which is available on the internet only. Keep 106, which is available on FM and on the internet. And Air 107.2, also on FM and the internet. All run by volunteers, all providing a local service for you, all quite different. I'm sure there's something for all of you on one of those stations, so do support them and give them a listen. And of course, I'll be back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. And in the meantime, if you've got any events to let me know about, any local activities that are going on or groups that are starting back up, do drop me an email at news@whiteregis.tv and I'll be happy to share it with everybody else. Other than that, I will see you again at 6 o'clock next Saturday, and it's just at 10 to 7 now. Enjoy the rest of your evening.